come with me for this wheelchair delivery of his Quickie RS. Now, with this client, they're in an upright folding wheelchair. And just looking at the seating alone, we've got a really saggy upholstery, which is doing nothing for her hips. We've got a belt that's wrapped around the waist, foot plates that aren't even at the right height, and nothing really supportive with the backrest. And given that she's seated all day, we at least want to move to a tilt and space wheelchair. And that's exactly what we've done here with the Quickie RS. And the Quickie RS that we've done has got a spec seat, specs armrest and thigh guides to help with the hip stability. We've got a 2-point padded hip belt on there mounted at a 60-degree angle, not a 45-degree angle, because a 60-degree angle is what we want to prevent a posterior pelvic tilt. Now you might be thinking, Justin, a Quickie RS with specs seat, specs cushion, specs armrest, specs thigh guides, how could you not go with specs backrest? Well, the client didn't need it. And I feel like that this backrest particular, this is the Matrix Elite backrest, is a good shape backrest for someone who doesn't have a lot of postural needs, but maybe just wants a bit more contouring to make sure they sit upright. That's the chair, obviously with the Quickie iXpress on the back for the power assist, but let's get her into the chair. So once you got into the chair, it's a bit hard to show you the whole scene, just with a few photos and videos, but she sat pretty well. What I found is that her hips were a little bit posteriorly tilted, so she was slouched forward a little bit. And a good way to help maintain someone to be in an upright posture is do a lot of things like a belt, tilt, cushion, all these things. But one thing you can do is add a PSIS block, which is basically a bit of extra foam padding right behind the dimples of the pelvis to help it forward. Now I'll show you me doing a seating review of my own chair. So I'm checking for the seat depth. The client's all the way back in the chair, and we've got about a 2-finger gap between the calves and the front of the cushion. The foot plates are at the right height because we're getting good femoral loading through the legs, so the knees aren't too high or they're not too low. The thigh guides are holding the hips into the central position. The armrests are a really good height. And then as we come around here, I'm checking the pelvis as well to make sure it's even, not one of the bones is higher than the other or further forward than the other. Her spine's looking straight, her head's looking straight. We are good to go. Do you agree?
Good. Happy?
We will take that as a yes. And then finally, just checking off to make sure it fits in the back of the van and everyone knows how to tie it down, and we go through the power assist and how to use it, and away we go.